people just feel like if I make a tiny mistake, that's it. That's the end of my business because I have to show up. And to that point on, I have to put my face out there and it's uncomfortable. The amount of times that, I show up as myself and I make mistakes and I share with them, the engagement always goes up when I'm talking about things that are not my expertise. They are more relatable when I showed up flawed. And this is something that you talk about a lot, right? The fact that, you're just figuring out as you go and you still built a multi-million-dollar business. And, there's still things you're like, oh, no, not sure. And I think the more transparent it is, that show or, just everything about our business, the better it is for connecting. And one question that I have here that is not on my notes, but I was like, because of ChatGPT and because of deepfakes, I find that we're living in a recession of trust, audience trust. Oh. And so we're really struggling to sell, sales cycles are way longer. And so a lot of times for a lot of creators and podcasters, we keep showing up and that's what's going to get us closer. But I'm very curious on your opinion because you've been working at this for a long, long time. And what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I have so many thoughts. Okay, first, just rewind a little bit because I think sometimes it's a procrastination tactic of wanting to know and be the expert. Yes. And I did this myself. I remember thinking, I want to talk about money. So does that mean I have to go back to university and get a finance degree? Even though I don't talk about that, and I'm very honest with people. I say, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm not going to give you financial advice. Where I am going to talk about is like mindset. And I'm coming at it from a student's perspective. I'm a student just like you. So let's be curious together. And I think that's the key too of going, okay, I don't need more certificates. I'm never going to feel ready no matter how many I have. And this is a particular money archetype that does it. I know you want to talk about that later.
Okay, yes.
Yes, but you're never going to feel ready. And I think if you're honest, you said transparency. I think that's a key word. I think that's always helped me to say, I don't know all the things. And I think sometimes we feel like we have to be very broad and we go, I need to know the whole life cycle of what's going to happen for my client instead of just going, you know what, I'm just going to focus on this little bit. And if you are a beginner, you don't have to pretend that you know the whole journey because there are always people who need to hear a beginner's mindset. And I look at this when I first self-published my book, Lucky Bitch, in 2011. And it's gone through a couple of versions. And recently I thought, oh God, there's things in there that make me cringe so hard. I want to go and rewrite the whole book. But I know I shouldn't because it captured a time in my life where I was maybe a little bit naive and delusional. And that was the energy I needed at that time in my life. And there'll be people who will need to hear that version of me. Not the version now who maybe is a little bit more experienced and
seasoned,
skeptical, seasoned, because I will go back and I will soften it. I will ruin that book, really, if I try and do it now. And so when you think of like that, you go, I can't write the books that I'll write in 3 decades from now. And that version of me can't write the books that I can write now. And insert book to podcast episode, content, whatever, right? And that's the beauty of it, is like you're only capturing a time in your life and you can only know what you know now, right? So be transparent about it. Sometimes we have to be very mindful as content creators as well. What's our scope? What's our area of expertise?